former U.S. President Donald Trump has once again stepped into the global spotlight by commenting on the ongoing Gaza-Israel ceasefire and hostage deal. As tensions between Israel and Hamas continue to shape Middle Eastern politics, Trump's remarks have stirred both support and controversy. Known for his strong pro-Israel stance during his presidency, Trump emphasized that lasting peace requires strength, strategic negotiation, and a clear stance against terrorism. He also criticized the current U.S. administration's handling of the crisis, arguing that the situation would have been different under his leadership. His comments have reignited debate about America's role in mediating Middle Eastern conflicts and whether Trump's America First foreign policy could bring a more stable balance of power. Regardless of political opinions, Trump's voice remains influential in shaping public discourse around one of the world's most sensitive and complex conflicts. Donald Trump has always been vocal about his unwavering support for Israel, and his recent remarks on the Gaza-Israel ceasefire and hostage deal reflect that same conviction. He strongly reaffirmed Israel's right to defend itself, stating that no nation should tolerate constant rocket attacks or threats to its citizens. In Trump's view, Israel's actions are not acts of aggression, but of self-preservation, a response to continuous hostility from Hamas and other militant groups. He believes that peace in the region cannot come at the expense of Israel's security, and any ceasefire deal must ensure the safety and stability of the Israeli people first. Trump's language often highlights his belief in peace through strength, meaning that true peace is achieved only when a nation is powerful enough to deter its enemies. He also stressed that the world tends to hold Israel to unfair standards, expecting restraint even when its people are under attack. By reinforcing his stance, Trump sent a clear message that under his leadership, the United States would stand firmly with Israel, offering moral and political backing against forces that seek its destruction. His words echo his past policies, showing that his loyalty to Israel remains a cornerstone of his worldview. Donald Trump didn't hold back when criticizing the Biden administration's diplomatic approach to the Gaza-Israel conflict. In his typical direct style, he accused the current leadership of showing weakness and lacking a firm stance in dealing with both Israel and Hamas. According to Trump, diplomacy without strength only emboldens aggressors and leads to more chaos in the region. He argued that the Biden administration's efforts to maintain neutrality or appeal to both sides send mixed signals, ultimately weakening America's influence in global peace negotiations. Trump also pointed out that his administration's firm policies, such as moving the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem and cutting funding to groups he viewed as supporting terrorism, made America's position crystal clear: that the U.S. stands with Israel against all forms of terror. He claims that this clarity kept things more stable because both allies and enemies knew where the United States stood. In contrast, Trump described the current U.S. diplomatic style as indecisive, saying it prioritizes political correctness over real-world security. His criticism reflects his broader philosophy that peace is achieved through decisive leadership and bold action, not through what he calls soft diplomacy or endless talks that go nowhere. Donald Trump has always believed that real peace is built on power, not weakness, and he made that point loud and clear while discussing the Gaza-Israel ceasefire and hostage deal. In his view, peace doesn't come from endless negotiations or soft words. It comes when a nation has the strength and willpower to protect itself. Trump often emphasizes that when a country projects strength, its enemies think twice before making a move. He argued that weakness, on the other hand, invites aggression and instability. Referring to Israel, Trump said that the only way to maintain peace in such a volatile region is to show unwavering determination and military readiness. He compared it to his time in office, claiming that global conflicts were less frequent because the world knew the U.S. would respond firmly to any threat. For Trump, strength is not just about weapons or power. It's about leadership that refuses to bend under pressure. He believes that showing firmness, even when it's unpopular, earns respect and keeps peace intact. His message was simple, but strong peace built on weakness will collapse, but peace backed by power stands tall and commands lasting stability. Donald Trump confidently stated that the ongoing violence between Gaza and Israel would have never escalated to this level if he were still in office. He believes his leadership style and foreign policy approach kept the Middle East more stable because both allies and adversaries respected his decisiveness. Trump often points out that during his presidency, there were fewer major flare-ups in the region, largely due to the peace agreements brokered under the Abraham Accords. He sees those deals as proof that strength, clarity, and firm diplomacy can bring tangible results. In his view, the current situation reflects a lack of control and weak leadership from Washington, which has allowed terrorist groups like Hamas to feel emboldened. Trump insists that his administration's zero-tolerance stance toward extremism created a sense of deterrence that prevented outbreaks of violence. He often reminds people that world leaders, even those who disagreed with him, respected his unpredictability and authority. For Trump, that fear and respect kept the peace. He suggests that his firm hand, quick decision-making, and unwillingness to compromise with groups promoting violence would have kept both sides cautious, preventing the bloodshed and chaos the world is now witnessing. Donald Trump's comments on the Gaza-Israel ceasefire and hostage deal have reignited a global debate about America's role in maintaining peace in the Middle East. His words reminded the world that the United States still holds significant influence over how these conflicts play out. Trump's assertive tone and unapologetic stance have sparked discussions among diplomats, analysts, and world leaders about whether a stronger, more hands-on U.S. approach could bring greater stability to the region. Many of his supporters argue that his bold policies and clear loyalty to Israel restored America's credibility as a superpower that doesn't hesitate to act. Critics, however, claim that Trump's aggressive style risks alienating allies and escalating tensions. Yet, his remarks have undoubtedly put pressure on current policymakers to reconsider how the U.S. balances diplomacy, power, and moral responsibility. Trump's ability to dominate the global conversation, even after leaving office, shows that his influence over American foreign policy thinking hasn't faded. Whether people agree with him or not, his perspective forces everyone to confront a tough question: should the U.S. lead with strength and take sides openly, or keep playing the cautious diplomat in one of the world's most fragile conflicts?